Am I the jerk for taking my mom's side and telling my wife that my mom did not verbally abuse her? My mom and wife have never been close, but I don't think either of them have been in the wrong until this situation. They just don't click. My wife is really into making soap. She sells it on social media and recently quit her job to sell soap full time. My mom has literally never said anything negative about the soap, but when she asked to buy it, she declined. My wife is like a dog with a bone, trying to get my mom to buy this soap. She asks her every time we see her, and when my mom declines, my wife starts listing the virtues of the soap and trying to force my mom to smell it. She has also brought my mom's fiancé into it and argued that my mom and stepdad both make good money and speculated about how much my mom spends on her wardrobe, which really isn't our business. Mom stopped by the other day to see the kids. Before she left, she used our bathroom, and my wife stood outside the door yelling the whole time about how the soap is in there. And don't you like it? My mom came out looking ticked, and my wife immediately offered her a friend and family discount. Mom screamed, "I don't want your effing soap. If you aren't making enough money from the soap, that isn't my problem. And I don't want to hear about the effing soap again." And then Mom left. My wife immediately asked me what I was going to do, and I said that I would talk to my mom, but my wife should have dropped it with the soap. My wife said that's not good enough and that my mom had committed verbal abuse. I replied that I don't consider that verbal abuse, and now my wife is very upset and feels like I'm taking my mom's side and that I should set boundaries with my mom, but I feel like my mom kind of set a boundary when she said she didn't want to buy the soap, and my wife didn't give a freak about that. And while I do believe that your nuclear family comes first, and ultimately my wife is way more important than my mom, I would not want to devalue her experience. That's a hard situation to be in. But I can tell you this, your wife crossed boundaries. She's trying to push her product off on family, and they're getting tired of it. And you're right, what your mother spends her money on is none of your wife's business. Your mom could be a millionaire, and that doesn't mean that she has to buy your soap. And your wife sounds very pushy. The fact that she caused the argument and then said, "What are you going to do about it?" says a lot about her. I'm also curious why he said his wife was just automatically more important than his mother. Yes, in a good relationship, you should always put your spouse ahead of others. But that don't mean you should let anyone treat your mother that way either. Especially when your mother is absolutely innocent in this. I feel like this is the kind of situation where you should have said something to your wife earlier. Like, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable with you pushing your products on my parents, so please don't." And when she says, "Yeah, but you know your mom blows through a lot of money," that's when you set the boundary. My mom's money is none of our business. And you're not gonna hound or guilt trip her into buying your soap. If you do, we will have problems. Through many relationships I've learned, set boundaries early on. Honesty is everything. When you say it, mean it. Don't let anyone push you around. Compromise. Respect each other's boundaries.